Okay, let's see where the flywheel's at now. We had it pretty close there, so let's see what it does now. Come on. What the hell? Jeez, tools are fighting me today. There's that one. Wrong tool. Wrong knob to turn. Supposed to be turning this knob right here. Now the needle's not going tunk 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 like it was. Okay, that has a little bit of a twitch going, which is good. This one here is the one that's out right now. Okay, now I gotta figure where we're at here. We're definitely high on this side right here. Somewhere in this area here is high. And this one here is basically high in the same spot. So the wheels need to be spread, but not this one, only this one. So that means we're going to hit this side only. And hopefully it'll drop this side down and not the other one. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put my punch underneath there, this thing, to keep it from dropping. Should transfer more of the pressure onto this side where it needs to be. Not sure how hard to hit it. You hit hard enough to do something. See, that knocked that one out. I'm afraid of that. Okay, now it's high on the bottom. It changed 180. And that one's also high on the bottom. So it just needs a little love tap back down. But not much, because it's not very strong. This ain't like the S&S where you gotta hit it hard. This one you kind of barely tap and it does stuff. Okay, we're moving the other side here too, which I don't like. Okay, that one's there. That one's there. I'm gonna give a little bit of a squeeze, I think. Not much of one. About that much. Shifted 90 degrees now. It's closer to the bottom. It's a little bit closer on this side. These are very light hits. Right around the bottom. High there. High there. High there. It's got a high spot here and a high spot. They're 180 apart from each other. How do you get a high spot? That means it's out of round. That's what that means. They're equally offs, top and bottom. That doesn't work. It's high right there. Alright, it's got two highs. They're equal. That shaft's out around. Well, this taper is moving side to side. It's got pressure on it, so it ain't that. Okay, this one over here, got a little air on it now than what it used to have. So it's a little bit high on the bottom. So if I go like that on that one, I want the right side to be truer than the left if I have an option. Because this has all the drive gears over here, it's a lot longer. It's high all through the bottom. It is a slight angle. It's definitely more on the top on this one than this one. So these are 180 apart from each other. Let's wake it up, make it move. See if I can get them back together. If they're not together, you can't do squat. I got to twist the crank pins, what I have to do in the flywheel. These are loose enough you can probably do that, but got to get them working together. Still on the bottom. It's on the bottom also. Alright, let's do a measurement and see where we're at. Kind of get an idea where I think the error is at. 267, 285. So it's narrow on the bottom, but it's high on the bottom. Yeah, that's the opposite of what it should be. $285. 266, 265. 20 thou narrow here, but it's too wide. So that means the flywheels are not too close together. The tapers are buckled up on the flywheels, so tapers need to go down, not the flywheels going like this. These wheels are going to be going like this as the motor spins true. That's what's going to happen. Okay, let's see if we can fix this the best we can. So we need to hit these down. We need to bend the tapers, not the flywheel. And look what happened. Still high on the bottom. High on the top. High on the top. And it's high there, and then it's higher. It's higher on this one than on this side, but it's got a double high. Piece of crap. Pretty much been here already. We can't. I'm not gaining on this. Oops. I don't know what else to do. Trying to bend the crank pin. This thing's a real pile of crap, that's what it is. So to get worse, the same. It got worse on the right side. And it's definitely higher on the bottom now than it was before. It moved. Oh, it's high on the other side now. I got his attention. You gotta get his attention sometimes to get to do what you want to do. You gotta break up the pattern. I think I broke up the pattern. Ooh, I like that. That one stopped moving. This one's still moving though. Get this one good, that one goes back out. Right there. Right there. Alright, well, this was our low spot before, so now we're actually doing what we need to do down here. Yep, too much. Pretty close. Kind of back where we were, sorta. It's actually high on this side now. I think that's it right there. That is it. Crappy parts. So the conclusion is the V-twin flywheels are soft, kind of like Harley ones are. So they seem to be machined halfway decently. Now when it comes to the shafts though, they're garbage. This thing's out of round. This one had a big nick in it, and uneven. They didn't have the taper cut at all on this one. This one barely has a taper in it. So overall, the parts suck. Now the crank pin measured good, but it's not very strong. That's why I can't put any torque on it. So, and the nuts aren't all that good either. So you can see how the threads are different for each one, even though it's the same part. So that means the nut had to fit itself to the shaft when they first put it together. And I had to put it back the same way. So the end result is it's junk. Now these rods are actually halfway strong. I was surprised. they're like a Harley rod, so they're actually decent. That's a new one. So you can see I got the, well, these don't move around too much. Now it's very sensitive to torque on this. You got to tighten them up just a little bit to make sure there's no clearance. So you go like that, torque on it. And then when you do that, they don't move very much. So I got them pretty true. But right now I'm putting tension on them right now. So you can see how the flywheel didn't want to go back up. I was actually squeezing it. So now we don't have tension on the crank. So now let's see what happens to the numbers. See, now they twitch more, see? So I was actually squeezing the crank with that, which made it truer, but now it's moving more. I don't like that. So that tells me I got to spread the crank just a little bit more, or I got to squeeze the crank, I mean. Thought I was done with this damn thing. Yeah, see, it's high on the bottom. So I got to put a little bit of a squeeze right here to bring that back in, but they're just not very good. The shafts suck on these things. So overall, the quality of the V-twin stuff is not very good. What a shocker. Now, I'm not saying the Harley ones are all that good either, but I think they're a little bit better in this quality. Definitely the shafts are better. I'm barely touching these flywheels to make movements, so these are like not even trying to move them. I can pretty much go like this with my hand and make them go together. That's pretty bad. You can see this one's twitching, but it's got two highs. It's out of round. This one's going up and down a little bit, so it's over here a little bit. Something about like that. Make sure I'm not squeezing the crank, so I got room. Okay, now I got it where I had it before with squeezing the crank. I got it now without squeezing the crank. So we don't have weight, so we're not squeezing it. See how the crank moves on its own. So see how it's really not moving. And this one's just twitching back and forth. It's showing almost a thou of movement off that shaft out around. It's yeah, 3/4 of a thou probably. Movement back and forth, same number. This one here is only moving about 1/3 of a thou, so it's within 1/2 a thou to 6/10 probably out. So anyway, there's quality is typical. All right, overall I'm not very happy with what it is. So I would say tighten the nuts more to get more holding power, but I already over torqued these nuts. There ain't nothing left of torque. The flywheels are just giving up and the threads are just pulling, so it doesn't pull any higher. I didn't really hit it hard enough to really move them hardly at all, so I don't know why they'd be loose. But anyway, it's just not a very strong crank. So good enough for a stock motor that you never run hard, that's for sure. But if you're gonna run it hard, it's gonna move. But, oh well, it'll live longer probably. I think it would, but anyway, I don't like stuff like this. I like stuff that's held together nice and tight. All right, well, that's it for old Taiwan Teddy.